Most people assume that intelligent individuals prefer solitude because they dislike people. That assumption is wrong. Intelligent people do not withdraw because they are antisocial. They withdraw because solitude offers something most environments do not. Mental clarity. The preference for solitude is not rooted in arrogance or superiority. It is rooted in cognitive sensitivity. Intelligent minds process more information at once. They notice patterns quickly. They register inconsistencies, emotional undercurrents, and subtle changes in tone. This heightened awareness comes at a cost. Social environments are mentally expensive. Every interaction requires processing. Facial expressions, word choice, emotional cues, unspoken expectations. For most people, this background noise fades into habit. For intelligent individuals, it rarely does. The mind remains active. Solitude reduces cognitive interference. It removes unnecessary input. It allows attention to narrow instead of scatter. This is not escapism. It is regulation. Intelligent people often feel mentally exhausted after prolonged social exposure. Not because interaction is unpleasant, but because it fragments attention. Their mind does not rest in groups. It monitors. This constant monitoring drains mental resources. Solitude, by contrast, restores them. In solitude, the intelligent mind can operate at its natural rhythm. Thoughts unfold without interruption. Ideas are explored fully rather than cut short. This depth is difficult to maintain in social settings. Conversation prioritizes speed over precision. Social norms reward agreement over accuracy. Complex ideas are simplified or abandoned altogether. For an intelligent mind, this creates friction. Not frustration with others, but frustration with limitation. Solitude removes that limitation. It allows thinking without translation. Another reason intelligent people prefer solitude is emotional independence. Many people rely on social interaction to regulate their emotional state. Conversation distracts from discomfort. Noise soothes anxiety. Presence reassures identity. Intelligent individuals are often less dependent on these external regulators. They can sit with internal states without immediately seeking relief. This makes solitude tolerable and eventually preferable. Solitude does not destabilize them. It stabilizes them. Intelligent people tend to have a strong internal narrative. They reflect frequently. They analyze experiences long after they occur. This reflection requires space. In social environments, reflection is interrupted. Attention is pulled outward repeatedly. Solitude protects internal continuity. It allows the mind to complete its processes. Many intelligent people report feeling more themselves when alone. Not because they are hiding socially, but because they are uninterrupted internally. This creates a sense of authenticity. In solitude, there is no performance. No need to adjust personality for social harmony. No need to simplify thoughts for acceptance. No need to suppress curiosity to avoid appearing intense. The intelligent mind values authenticity deeply. Solitude guarantees it. Social environments often demand compromise. Tone must be softened. Opinions moderated. Depth restrained. Over time, this creates internal tension. Intelligent individuals become selective not because they are judgmental, but because constant compromise is mentally expensive. They choose environments that allow full expression. Often, that environment is solitude. Another overlooked factor is emotional depth. Intelligent people tend to feel emotions with nuance. They do not experience feelings as simple categories. They experience layers. This makes emotional processing slower and more complex. Social settings rarely allow this complexity. They demand quick reactions, clear emotional signals, immediate responses. Solitude allows emotions to be processed without pressure. This reduces emotional overload. Many intelligent individuals retreat into solitude after intense emotional experiences. Not to isolate, but to integrate. Integration requires stillness. Without it, emotions remain unresolved. Solitude also protects cognitive boundaries. Intelligent people are often targets for emotional dumping. Others seek advice, validation, or understanding. While this can be meaningful, it is also draining. Without boundaries, emotional labor accumulates. Solitude restores those boundaries. It gives the mind a break from constant responsiveness. This is why intelligent people may appear distant. In reality, they are conserving mental energy. Another reason solitude is preferred is control over input. Intelligent minds are sensitive to quality. Not all information is equal. Noise, shallow conversation, and repetitive topics degrade mental engagement. Solitude allows selective input. Books, thought, creative work, focused exploration. This input nourishes rather than drains. In social environments, input is rarely curated. The intelligent mind cannot simply ignore irrelevant stimuli. Processes automatically. This leads to overload. Solitude simplifies the cognitive landscape. Fewer inputs mean clearer thought. Clear thought is deeply rewarding. This is why intelligent people often describe solitude as peaceful rather than lonely. Loneliness arises from lack of connection. Solitude arises from choice. Intelligent people choose solitude because it aligns with their internal needs. They do not avoid connection entirely. They prefer meaningful connection. Quantity is less important than quality. Superficial interaction offers little value to a mind that seeks depth. This does not mean intelligent people lack social skills. Many are highly capable socially. They simply find most interaction inefficient. Conversation often revolves around repetition, shared complaints, social validation. While harmless, it rarely stimulates. Solitude, on the other hand, stimulates continuously. Ideas evolve. Connections form. Insights emerge. This mental activity is deeply satisfying, provides intrinsic reward. This reduces dependence on external stimulation. Another factor is sensitivity to inconsistency. Intelligent people notice contradictions quickly. They detect insincerity. They recognize when words do not align with behavior. Social environments contain many such inconsistencies. People say things they do not mean. They conform to group opinion. They suppress truth for comfort. Navigating this requires constant adjustment. Over time, this adjustment becomes tiring. Solitude removes the need for social navigation. There is no dishonesty to interpret, no hidden agenda to decode, only clarity. Intelligent people also tend to question norms. They are less comfortable accepting things simply because they are common. Social groups reinforce norms aggressively. Deviation is often discouraged. This creates internal conflict. Solitude allows independent thinking, protects originality. This is why many innovators, writers, and thinkers valued solitude. Not because they rejected society, but because they needed space to think beyond it. Solitude is where unconventional ideas survive long enough to develop. In groups, they are often dismissed prematurely. Intelligent people learn this early. They learn that solitude is safer for fragile ideas. Another reason solitude appeals is emotional self-sufficiency. Intelligent individuals often understand their emotional patterns well. They can self-soothe. They can self-reflect. This reduces reliance on social reassurance. They do not need constant feedback to feel stable. This makes solitude comfortable rather than threatening. For many people, being alone intensifies insecurity. For intelligent individuals, it often reduces it. Without comparison, the mind relaxes. Social environments encourage constant comparison. Status, achievement, recognition. Intelligent people are aware of these dynamics. They recognize how comparison distorts self-perception. Solitude removes the comparison frame. This restores internal balance. Another overlooked aspect is boredom tolerance. Intelligent people often tolerate boredom better. They can generate internal stimulation. Thought becomes entertainment.
Curiosity fills gaps.
This makes solitude engaging rather than empty. For those without this capacity, solitude feels unbearable. This difference is often mistaken for introversion. But it is not about energy alone. It is about internal richness. Solitude amplifies what already exists inside. If the internal world is empty, solitude feels painful. If it is rich, solitude feels rewarding. Intelligent people often have rich internal landscapes. Ideas, questions, and reflections occupy their attention. This makes solitude productive. Not always in visible ways, but in foundational ways. They are building mental structures. Social environments interrupt this construction. This is why intelligent people may retreat frequently. They are not disengaging from life. They are engaging with it internally. This internal engagement eventually benefits the external world. Ideas refined in solitude shape conversations later. Insights formed alone improve decisions. Solitude is not withdrawal. It is preparation. Another important point is emotional honesty. In solitude, there is no need to perform emotional stability. Intelligent people are often expected to be composed. This expectation can be restrictive. Solitude allows emotional authenticity. Thoughts can be messy. Feelings can be contradictory. There is no audience to manage. This freedom is psychologically healthy. Social environments often reward emotional simplification. You are expected to feel one thing at a time. Intelligent people rarely do. Solitude accommodates complexity. This reduces internal suppression. Over time, this reduces stress. Intelligent people also tend to be future-oriented. They think ahead. They plan. They anticipate consequences. This forward thinking requires uninterrupted focus. Social environments constantly pull attention to the present. Solitude allows strategic thinking. It allows long-term perspective. This is deeply satisfying to a mind oriented toward understanding systems. Another reason solitude is preferred is reduced emotional contamination. Emotions are contagious. In groups, moods spread quickly. An intelligent person may absorb emotional states unconsciously. This can distort their own emotional baseline. Solitude resets this. It allows emotions to return to their natural level. This emotional clarity is calming. It is not that intelligent people dislike others' emotions. They simply feel them more acutely. Solitude protects emotional boundaries. This preference for solitude often increases with age. As intelligent people learn their limits, they respect them. They stop forcing themselves into environments that drain them. They become selective. This selectivity is often misinterpreted as arrogance. In reality, it is self-knowledge. They know what they need to function well. Solitude is one of those needs. Importantly, intelligent people do not reject connection. They value deep, honest, meaningful interaction. They simply require less of it. And they require it to be genuine. Solitude allows them to maintain clarity so that when they do connect, it is intentional. Not habitual. Not obligatory. Not compensatory. Intentional connection is richer. It is chosen rather than sought. This is why intelligent people often have fewer relationships, but stronger ones. They invest deeply rather than broadly. Solitude makes this possible. Without it, mental and emotional resources would be spread too thin. Ultimately, intelligent people prefer solitude because it aligns with how their mind works. It protects focus. It supports emotional regulation. Preserves authenticity. It allows depth. Solitude is not a rejection of others. It is a commitment to clarity. And clarity is not something an intelligent mind is willing to sacrifice. Not for noise. Not for conformity. Not for constant interaction. Solitude is where their mind feels most itself. And that is why they return to it. Again and again.